Yo, 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 yo. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Just getting things ready for this interview with the homie K Sankofa. You know how we get down, you know how we do it. So hopefully everybody's doing good. Everyone's safe. You know, doing what they gotta do, handling their business. I know things are crazy right now, but you know, gotta persevere and push through. You know what I'm saying? So, man, took us a while to try to get up on these live stream platforms, but we here now. And we're gonna try and get a few things going for y'all. So we was doing a whole bunch of things before, of course, COVID-19 and everything hit. So man, we just trying to get things reorganized, rebooted, and moving again. And I think the first thing that we really need to get moving is the Who's Next series. You know, we was putting in work trying to, create and sustain that platform for up and coming artists, to be able to have a place for the music to get played, without a lot of the red tape and from time to time the money that's associated with getting your stuff there. So it is what it is. What up, DJ Rock? Can you hear me? So, yeah, so Who's Next was the first thing we really, under Radio 22, wanted to get booted up and get going in this new format, this live stream format. And we're going to start moving with other things as well. So we got our first Industry Saturday that'll be going on this weekend with Landon Devon. That's at 5 p.m. on Saturday. So we're going to get the Who's Next booted. We're going to get the Industry Saturdays booted up. We got a special announcement. I know K Sankofa has a special announcement for you tonight. And we at Radio 22 also have a special announcement for y'all tonight. So make sure you stay tuned to the end. Because, we'll have things moving. So, man, I'm just going to go ahead and send this out to a few people. No big thing. You know, get my peoples on and whatnot. Hopefully they tuning in. Hopefully we can get them. But we'll see. So it lets me invite people. That's dope. But yeah, like with everything, like you gotta be able to like, yo, what's up, homie? Man, we got super producer in the building. What's good? You can hear me all right? Is my audio okay? I ain't got no mixer in front of me. It feels weird. So yeah, yo. What's up, Mr. Devon? What's good? What's good with you? One of y'all give me a thumbs up if my audio's alright. If y'all can hear me. Yes, sir. That's what's up. That's what I needed to know. So kind of like I was saying, Radio 22 is getting rebooted, but we're getting rebooted in a live stream format. So the first thing that, we wanted to get going from Radio 22 was the Who's Next. Get that going with the live stream. We had to make that happen. I see the man's here. Let's see if I can figure out how to invite the man into this joint. But yeah, we wanted to get the Who's Next booted. We wanted to get that going. We wanted to get the Industry Saturday with Landon Devon already here. That's going to be happening on this Saturday at 5 p.m. So we're going to do our first live stream Industry Saturday. This is our first live stream Who's Next. But we're going to continue to take stuff off of our radio platform, and we're going to start to put it on the live stream. Like I said, it took a minute, it took a grip, but I think now we're figuring it out. Let's see. Yeah. In with me. Oh, look at that. Look. We got What's up, OG? Man, I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to explain to people that, Radio 22, we trying to get our stuff, get all of our programming and stuff live streamed in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, moving with the times.
Right. Yo, and this is the kickoff right now. So getting Who's Next, that was like priority. Hey, you got to get Who's Next on here.
I'm happy to be in the building kicking it off with you. You feel me?
Right. We had to kick it off with you because that interview's been long overdue. Long overdue. We got Landon that's coming in on Saturday to do our first Industry Saturday. So he's going to be talking about music marketing and song construction.
Okay.
So he's going to really break it down. Yeah, it's going to be dope. I know you got a special announcement that I ain't going to say. I'm going to let you say that at the end about something. I ain't going to say nothing else, but you got a special announcement.
Yes.
You got something you'll break to him. I got something I'm going to break to him as well. But we're going to save that for the end. They got to get through the interview first.
100.
So how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling all right. Everything's been, a little bit out of pocket with the COVID-19 and the corona. Just doing what I can to stay safe. You know what I'm saying? Stay active and try to keep my spirits up during this time, really, because, it's just a lot going on. Whether you think about it in terms of the health situation of it and how people are really impacted, how the numbers in the U.S. are really getting higher and higher as far as people who are dying. And I think I heard we just passed Italy or something like that recently.
Right.
Or when you look at it as far as like the job aspect, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people getting laid off and stuff like that, or the political aspect, whereas we're still in the 2020 election now.
Right.
And that's something that I'm very much interested in and very much always been an advocate about is politics. So now looking at the whole political sphere with Trump wilding and doing everything going on, and then Biden being a Democratic nominee and the coronavirus still. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I've been making sure that I do is like stay thankful for, you know what I'm saying, the things that, I still do have in this time. Because I feel like we get caught up in all of that. But, that I still do have a job, you know what I'm saying? And they're allowing me to work remotely, you know what I'm saying? I'm thankful that, I have this time to work on myself and I can keep working on music and better myself. And for like people who are at home with their families and stuff like that, I say, yeah, be thankful that you can spend some quality time with your folks. Because that's what I'm doing right now, just trying to make sure I use my time wisely and stay in good spirits.
Right. So before we dive into music, because it's not quite 8 yet, I don't want to dive into the music part of it until 8, till we told people we'd be on. Yo, homie, you had a song that you just put out a few weeks ago with your guy Bernie, talking about Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
So now that we know that Biden is the nominee, how you feel about that? You can be honest.
Yo. Look, let me tell you. But that's the reason why I was, and as you know, I was in such a rush to get that song / picture video out because, I didn't know what the timeline was like on it. I knew that there was an uncertainty. I was riding with Bernie very hard. So it took a huge toll seeing him have to drop out like that. And, this is what I feel like a lot of the Democratic Party wanted anyway, because I feel like it'd be easier for them to have less, contention, no competition. But, for me, it was hard to hear and hard to see, especially because it happened the day after the election day here in Wisconsin, where they had folks still out voting, wilding, even amidst the pandemic. So I was like, after seeing him drop the next day was kind of like whack, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to see that. And then also, like you said, I had put out the song, so it was I was hoping that could get some momentum. But, I'm glad to have put it out because my main thing is that if I can express myself, you know what I'm saying, then I'm good with it, He might not have been able to go all the way, but if I can express myself and, I feel good about that, then I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
That's what's up. Gotta shout out Miss Sheena who just came online. You will be seeing Miss Sheena, this Friday. She'll be doing the next Who's Next this Friday. I think she got camera
What up,
guys
Big
that'll be in the
Juan?
building.
That's Big Juan down there too. What up, Big Juan?
What's
Hey.
going on?
Yeah.
So can you get behind Biden? Are you feeling conflicted about that?
Look, I'm super conflicted about that because the reality is like, okay, he was Obama's vice president, right? And that's why everybody was
Right.
like, oh, you know what I'm saying, we should support him because he was rocking with Obama. But I feel like most people don't really know. But Obama chose Biden because he needed to appeal to conservatives. You can't be no black dude trying to do politics in America and try to be the president and not appeal to the people who don't look like us or not appeal to the people who don't think like us. And not to say all black people think the same, but it's different codes, it's different structures, it's different conducts. And
No doubt.
Biden operates in a different conduct than I feel like, you know what I'm saying, the people who I was looking forward to politically. Biden operates with the conservatives and the Republicans. He even said before the debate that he was interested in having a Republican be his running mate. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mm.
like, you know, for me, it's difficult to just accept that. You know, granted,
Right.
in the debate with Bernie, he did say he was going to make a black woman his vice president. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, that's good. And Bernie talked
Right.
about swaying him more to the left and bringing him more onto issues like canceling student debt, which is really important right now, and like, you know what I'm saying, the
Most
healthcare
definitely.
situation that we got going on. So my thing is if he could align with the message, you know what I'm saying, granted, like at the end of the day, don't none of us want to see another Trump presidency. Don't none of us
Right.
want to see that. You know what I'm saying? That's just terrible for the country. Like that's a lot
Right.
of that is what has us so far deep in the situation that we have now. Like him shutting
Right.
down the pandemic squad and him taking away money for certain efforts to relieve situations. Whereas, you know, back when we had Obama, he was calling for protections in those senses. But for me, it's
Right.
like, of course, in my heart, I'm like, okay, I don't want to see Trump, so I will vote for Biden. But that's like, I got to hear something first. I don't know if you
Right.
saw what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was doing or what Cardi B was doing. Cardi B was talking to Bernie in a live video, and she was just talking
Right.
about the process and how we as people uh, should support Biden, but at the same time, you get a voice from Cortez, which is saying like we should leverage something. We shouldn't support
Right.
him until he says, okay, we are going to push universal health care. We're going to push college, you know what I'm saying? You taking away college student loan debt and stuff like that. And so for me, it's
Right.
like I need to hear those type of things before I just support them, even though the sheer idea of wanting to kick Trump out of office does make me want to support the other person, which is Biden. Even though sometimes I think of them both very similarly, because Biden did a
Right.
lot of stuff that affects black people, affects people like me, affects people like you. He did a lot of
Yep.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was a part of the
Right.
crime bill, all of the
Sure
war
was.
stuff that was going
Yep.
on in Iraq, overseas. He voted for those wars. And then he sat there in the debate with Bernie and was lying, talking about some, I don't have any super PACs. It was like, we know you're getting paid by billionaires. And if you're getting
Right.
paid by billionaires, your agenda is going to be influenced by billionaires. You're not just taking no pay cut from people and they're not telling you what to do. That's like the same
Right.
way it is in the industry. If you're getting that check from the label, then you got to put out the singles they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So if
You
you
got
getting
to.
that big pharmacy money, you got to do that big pharmacy talk, which means that people are
Partial
going to have the
ownership.
healthcare they want. Yeah,
It's partial ownership. You're right.
yeah.
I want to shout out before we move forward. I see you on there, Steve. Steve was asking like, yo, do you think Biden generally wants to have a black woman as a VP, or he just doing it to save face?
Man, he definitely is pandering. He is pandering his ass off. Biden, look, like granted, like I don't want to say or know if he's a racist or not. I don't know if he's like, you know,
Right.
if he has any everybody got their own personal prejudices and biases. So I wouldn't say that the
Right.
man is a racist, but I would say that what he's doing right now is definitely pandering for the black vote. Historically, his policies, he's leaned over and wavered anywhere. He's kind of like the yes man of politics. If you ask him to do it, then he'll be about it, and he don't really have anything firm that he stands for. Is what I see. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I've seen is that the Democratic Party is trying to consolidate, and Bernie, who I do view as a leader, who I listen to, he's saying, well, we want to vote for him and we want to sway him in more in the left direction or more in the direction
Right.
for the people. And so it's
Right.
like, you know, I do think he's pandering, and I don't think that he necessarily, you know what I'm saying, is really about the people like that when you're talking about having a black first lady. You know what I'm saying? Granted,
Right.
I think it's a great idea. Like, if you're going to do it, then do it. Don't let it be talk.
Right.
If you're going to say that
Right.
and then don't do it, that's huge. Like, that's tangible. We can see that. It's not like you saying, oh, I'm going to pass this law and by the time you get in the office, we just forgot about it. This is like you
Right.
said you was gonna make your running mate this person, so that's gonna be who you with the entire 4 years, 8 years you in office. So that's gonna be something that we watching. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what's up. Shout out Sincere Life. I see Sincere Life popped on. He got
Yeah.
his
What up?
podcast. He got his podcast
What
coming
up,
up.
Perry?
Actually, that's tonight. That's 10 o'clock tonight.
You
So
said
y'all
what's that?
definitely need to tune into that.
What up, Solomon? What up, Perry? What up, Sincere Life? What up, Steve?
So before we jump into the music, because you're a real dude and you say it and you spit it as it is and how you feel it.
Yeah.
Like I want to get your opinion on one more thing before we get into the music. So check it. I don't know if you saw it today. Gilly had a video up, and he was in Atlanta, and he was talking about how the governor in Georgia is going to open everything up. Is going to open up not everything, but the majority of businesses, the
Yeah,
bowling alleys, salons, things of that sort. And Gilly was like, "Yo, y'all don't peep this? Y'all don't see this as the okie doke?" He's
right.
like, "Y'all, he gonna do that where Atlanta is the blackest city in America.
Right. And you
They
said who
gonna
said
use
that?
us
Who
as
said
guinea
that?
pigs."
Who said that?
Gilly.
Gilly. And you know what? You
Yeah.
know who else commented on it? Killer Mike.
Yeah, he did, because he said he wasn't
Killer
gonna
Mike,
open his barbershop.
he got business. I'm about to say he got businesses in Atlanta. He said he's not doing none of that. And when you think about it, it's
Right.
crazy. But that is crazy though. When we talk about environmental racism, especially in the time of the corona, that's something to study. You know what I'm saying? That's something for people
Right.
to look at. Because for Atlanta to be one of the first, or for Georgia to be one of the first places opening, you know what I'm saying, or trying to open, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be really detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows what the population is over there.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, "Yo, I know y'all gonna be back out trying to go to the strip club and trying to go out and party." He's like, "You need to stay your ass inside."
Man.
He's like, "They just pulling the okie doke on you, play."
Right. It is the okie doke. It is the okie doke. But I mean, it's because people are concerned with their money. And this is America. And so it's like,
Right.
what else do you expect? Capitalism
Right.
breeds capitalism. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to capitalize, somebody has to be on the downside of that. Somebody has to be on the other end. You can't have
Right.
capitalism without oppression. It doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that almost sounds like a perfect bridge into your album you just dropped, Parisian.
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
That
Sir.
almost sounds that sounds like a perfect bridge into that. So my first question, why did you choose that name? And for those that don't know or aren't clear on the meaning, can you explain that to them?
Definitely, 100. So speaking of like studying and learning, it was actually, I was in college when I learned that word. It was in communication arts, like 345. The class was called The Great Speakers. And so
Okay.
it wasn't mainly about us writing speeches ourselves, but it was about us learning about speeches. So we researched people like Dr. King or Abraham Lincoln when he did the Foursquare 7 years ago. And then like a lot of other people throughout American history and throughout like world history on like the way they would speak. And so part of the curriculum went to the ancient period in I think it was ancient Greece or Rome, where they had a word that was called parrhesia, and it literally meant speak truth to power. And so it was used to describe people who would stand out on the street corners. They would stand out in front of the parliamentary buildings or out in front of the jurisdiction, jurisprudence buildings where they did all of the legal work, or they would stand out in front of like somewhere that was a place of power or significance, and they would literally just be talking they shit, talking the truth and telling the truth to the people. And that was very important because it was at a time where not everybody could read. So you had people who literally would ingest the information and then go out and disseminate it amongst the common people who didn't necessarily have the time in their day to go and, you know, research that. And so for me, that was something that was powerful, that was significant. So it had that meaning, and it also just means plain and simply speaking truth to power. And so for me, I thought about it in terms of like, you know, the where we're at in America today. It's like it's always so much going on. It's always something to be fighting, always something to be doing. And I think that, you know, Time Magazine labeled 2015 the year of the activist. And then after that, 2016 came, and we all know what happened. Trump got elected. And then people started, I feel like, getting, you know, kind of tired, lazy. You started seeing less going on. And that's with all of the movements, whether that was college campuses going up regarding race and equity, whether that's, you know, the Me Too movement or wherever it
Right.
was. There was a lot of activism going on in 2015, like through up until like, you know, 2016, and then it was a spike when Trump got elected, and then I think things just went down, and everybody just
Right.
started kind of chilling and focusing on themselves. And so for me, like, I was in a place where I was doing a lot of activism as well. So I'm like, you know, it usually is very reflective in my music, but for this, I wanted to put something into it that was reflective within the American scheme as a whole. Because my first tape, I had a lot of political talk in
Yeah.
it, but it was mainly around my experience at UW-Madison, dealing with UW
Right.
administration, dealing with student government, dealing with student organizations, and trying to pass demands for diversity and equity at UW-Madison and throughout the state. But this one, I was thinking more terms on a national sense after Trump got elected. What we look at with healthcare, or what we look at within inner cities, you know what I'm saying, where we have, you know, our people and our students who are having a hard time. And then, like, really, I would say being in Madison has had a tremendous effect on my political mind. Because when I was back in LA, granted, back home, everything is generally blue. And when I say blue, I mean leftist politically. Like, things are, people are generally like liberal, and there's a better sense of, I feel like, equity and diversity. So when I'm in Madison, I feel that completely. I feel it completely differently, especially when you look at statistics. Like, I work in the schools. So I work in China Middle School right up the way. And what, you know, what we know here is that, like, black kids do worse than white kids here in this city than I think almost any other city, you know what I'm saying, in the state, according to the Race to Equity report, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So for me, it's like thinking about the kids, thinking about just the politics, you know what I'm saying? All the time when Walker was the governor. Some of the songs was written when Walker was the governor. I dropped Walker in the second song of the tape, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of that just took a hold of the influence of the state of Wisconsin politics and national politics, and speaking truth to power in the best way that I know how, and incorporating that into the music. For me, that's always something that I always wanted to do. And I always see, like, if I'm approaching an album or a mixtape, and I'll say it's a mixtape because it's some beats that are like semi-own, but most of the beats are like on. But it's like with an album or mixtape that I drop, my goal is to, you know what I'm saying, provide a message. I think of it like an essay, or like, you know what I'm saying, a book, and each song is a chapter in the book, or each song is a paragraph in the essay. So that's kind of how, you know, that's what took me to that. And I don't know what it is. That's just kind of like in my personal code to be about resistance, and to be about, my major was sociology. So in that, I learned a lot about the social ills of society and politics. And then growing up, I grew up in a church family where I also learned values of, like, leadership and service. So those are some things that I feel like carry into the music, and it just kind of really made me want to express with Trump being the president and with everything going on. And I really think Trump being the president was, like, kind of the big catalyst, you know, one of the big catalysts behind the album, as well as my own personal experiences growing up in South Central LA, coming to Wisconsin, and then being to the point where I'm at now, just like kind of doing whatever work I can do in the community and making music.
Right. So shout out for those that just tuned in. I saw Fuji, saw MJ.
Shout out to Kevin. That's my guy. Yes.
I saw Coley.
Bro.
Right. So for those who may not be familiar with you, it's your boy Dash. I'm talking with my man Sankofa. Does music in Madison, but based out of Watts, California. We are talking about his project he recently dropped called Parisia, available on all platforms, correct?
All platforms.
So make sure to go check it out. My next question for you is, since we talked about the background of the mixtape of the project, yo, you went from Watts, California.
Yeah, that's facts.
To Madison, Wisconsin.
That's facts.
Please describe what I assume is a 180 of how things are supposed to go and how things are supposed to be. Describe the huge difference between Watts and Madison beyond, we know the racial makeup is different, but what were the big adjustments that you had to make being here versus being there? And I can only speak to I've been to California just a few times, but when I go there, I know that the energy for me is different.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and the Midwest has a different type of energy and a different way you have to move. But you can best speak to that than me because you've been in both places far longer than I have. So please speak to that difference between coming from Watts, California to Madison, Wisconsin.
Right. Okay. So I got a couple different takes on it, right? So when I first came, there's like a simple take that I would just give everybody because everybody would ask me like, "Yo, that's crazy. What made you come out here? And like, what's the difference?"
Right.
So I tell people
Right.
like off top, the first thing that hit me, of course, was the weather. Like I didn't know nothing about. No, for real. I didn't know nothing about insulated jackets. You know what I'm saying? People was like, "Buy your
Right.
jackets insulated." I was like, "What brand is that?" You know what I'm saying? And then, for real. And then people were like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's 30, but you know what I'm saying? It feels like, you know what I'm saying, 12 and wind chill factor. I didn't know those words. Like,
Damn.
no lie, I kid you not. My freshman year, there was a blizzard. And the last final that I had got canceled. So similarly to everything being canceled right now because of the corona, we had like the last week of finals canceled because of a blizzard. And that was like absurd because everyone was like, UW would never shut down. But like I didn't know what no blizzard was before I came from LA. A blizzard, bro. I had never seen snow. So you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That
snap.
was one of the first things. And then when I say snow, it's two different types of snow. Because you know what I'm saying? You got the snow and then you got the snow. Because like
Right.
it's a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? But at
Right.
the same time, like, you know, that's what it was. But the other way that I would phrase it is like, okay, when I was in LA, I was still in high school. So it wasn't like I was living on my own. You know what I'm saying? I came out here when I was 18. So, I mean, I grew up
Okay.
in LA and whatnot, but, you know, I was in high school, so I wasn't an adult out paying bills. I wasn't like
Right.
going to the club, you know what I'm saying, at 18 or
Right.
managing rent and a job. So I don't really know a lot of the nuances of like living as a person in LA. You know, that probably be even more, like, it could be even more difficult depending on the expenses and whatnot. But I know like being in Madison is just different culturally as I've grown, like as I've, like in college, I wasn't really tripping outside of like the activism that I was doing. Like, of course,
Right.
like, okay, we say, oh, it's a lot of white people. It's only 2% black people on campus. We
Right.
don't culturally fit in. We need these accommodations, right? Those are the things that we was doing. But outside of that, like, you know, I was a young 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old turning up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I was in college. So it wasn't like, oh, I was really tripping at first. I feel like I had to grow into like really seeing my environment and looking at, you know, everything as it was going down and really, you know, making a judgment call for myself that then inspired me to do something else about it. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's like, you know, of course, they're starkly different places, completely
Right.
different places. LA is warm. Madison has 4 seasons and gets really, really cold for half of the year, I feel like. You know what
Yo,
I'm
it
saying?
feel like we
LA
moving to
has a
3
lot of
seasons. That
diversity.
winter getting long, G.
Right, right, right. And LA has a lot of diversity. Madison has pretend diversity. You know what I'm saying? But what I say is that, you know what I'm saying, I still rock with Madison, and this has been like a second home for me. I've been here for a long time. I did all of my undergrad here, and I had my first real full-time job here, and I started my music career here. So it's like, even though it's got its ups and downs, I got a lot of love for Madison. And when I describe Madison to people, I don't just talk about how bad it can be for people who come from different places, but I say like it has a different texture to it. And if you find your pocket and you get with your groups, then you can have a good time. Like you can have a good time and you can do what you need to do, wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I feel happy to have been able to build whatever even little bit we were able to build with music here in Madison. You know what I'm saying? Getting a following. You know what I'm saying? Like the Facebook page just got the 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Follows. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we started right over here, and so I feel good to have been able to do something for myself, even with music here. Like the YouTube videos we just dropped. Be Excellent got the 2.1K in 2 months.
Yeah.
And then Parisian came right behind it with the 1.6K in 3 weeks.
Yep.
So we're gonna see what those do. And you know, just keep on pushing. Just keep on pushing. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't checked those out, go check those out.
Most def.
Stay tapped in.
Compare and contrast, I know you've been back and forth, the two music scenes.
Yeah.
Talking about
what up, MP?
Because you still got homies out there. Yeah, you got homies out there in the music scene that are doing their thing. You know people out here in the music scene doing their thing. Yeah. But compare and contrast between the different music scenes.
Okay, that's dope. Here, this is what I would say. I'll talk about Madison first since I'm right here. I I like the Madison music scene because I think that there's a lot of room for people who really want to work. There's a lot of room for people who want to work hard. Now, what you have to do is you do have to work hard. You have to be about your craft. If you go to the studio session, you got to go to the studio session. You want to show up with material that you're ready to record, or you better be ready.
MP just showed up as you talked about studio sessions.
Right, MP. And look, I got to apologize to MP because I done missed the session before myself. You know what I'm saying? But me and MP, we good though. We good. You know what I'm saying?
He said facts.
He said facts. He know. He really know. But that was like one session or whatever. But the thing is, it's like it's so much room for opportunity. There's a lot of people hosting shows, whether it's Blaze the Stage, whether it's Rhyme and Reason, whether it's Radio 22, whether it's something Pain One is doing with You Can. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff going on, and if you want to tap in, you can tap in. And it's like what I like is that it's like, so hip hop has been seen as underground, and in Madison, hip hop is underground, but it's kind of bubbling, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like there's a lot of juice to it, and there's a lot of people who are getting a lot of attention out of Madison right now. Like one person I remember who I always was cool with back in the day, Lucian. He first started doing this out here. You got Tay Sharkey now, who, you know what I'm saying, is popping off. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at their YouTube videos. They getting numbers, you know what I'm saying, keys. And then you got everybody, you know what I'm saying, just collectively putting in work, creating a scene. And that's what I like most about Madison. It's like, it wasn't just some scene that you're going to jump into, but it's a scene that people are creating collectively for themselves. And I think that that's the essence of hip hop, because it started off with the people who didn't have that voice. And so Madison is a place that for real, has lacked that voice for a minute. And so people are starting to spur it up. And even with all the controversy you see with like the clubs and the bars that be trying to not play hip hop music, trying to not do shows. It's spots shutting down, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. Shout out to my guy from the Cherry Pit, Leo. That's my guy. We play live band music. Get with him if you need a keyboardist or a musical conductor. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that to me is a part of it too. Like, I've met so many interesting cats in Madison who do music, who do hip hop, who sing, who do live music. So I've been able to perform with live bands. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to, you know, record 2 projects, record like 7 or 8 music videos, 2 of which are out. So that means we got 7 more in the chamber. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that. But then I contrast and go to LA music, where it's like one of the big reasons why I wanted to start doing music in Madison is because I feel like there's more of an opportunity to make a personal connection. Whereas in LA, the market is so saturated. Back home, everybody's doing music. So for me, I'm like, if I go home and I start telling my cousins and my homies, oh yeah, look, I rap, they're gonna be like, okay, well, what you got? You know what I'm saying? They go, you didn't know. Like literally everybody, almost everybody's a rapper. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I be feeling like, you know, it's difficult when you're just looking at the game and you like, oh, who's gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? How far can we take it? What is successful to me? Because everybody is rapping and everybody is gonna achieve it at different levels of success. But one thing that I always said is like, I didn't want to be back home in LA rapping in such a saturated market with nothing to show for myself. And what I like about the Madison market is if you do want to work, it will give you something to show for yourself. You can be like, you know, I feel like I got a solid EBK now just because I've been in Madison and I've been able to connect and perform a bunch of shows. And for
you got a solid what? Say that again?
For EBK. Did you call it EBK?
EPK, yeah.
And for those who don't know what an EBK is, that's an electronic, is it EPK or EBK? Electronic press kit. EPK. Yep. Electronic press kit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a list of all of the shows that you do. That's some major insider business game for you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to D.U.B. You the one who told me that. But like, because of that, you know what I'm saying, I've been able to do, you know what I'm saying, some shows in Illinois, some shows in Iowa, you know what I'm saying? And get a good deal of shows like here in Madison, Oshkosh, Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying? Across, you know what I'm saying? Just some spots in Wisconsin. So I feel good about that. I feel good to be able to say that that's the case. And when I'm doing business with other people, they can see, oh, you're not like you're an experienced performer and you're doing your thing and you got people who rocking with you. So that makes me happy to know regarding the two scenes. Now, do I feel like now I feel like I would be really excited about the prospect of doing music in a more serious level in LA, because when I do contrast the scenes, I mentioned some people who are kind of popping off here, and the fact that even if you're not popping off here, like popping off, you still got a lane, you know what I'm saying? You still got a direction. You still got a platform. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Versus
Right.
in LA, you know what I'm saying? You may not have that platform. You just got to be grinding. But also, I got a couple homies in LA who really popping off too.
Right. Right.
My boy, and so that's the thing. Like LA, the politics of LA rap is a lot more different too. Because out here and out in LA, you can do more whatever you want to. But what I recognize gets popping and gets on the radio and gets in the clubs is
Right.
gangster. You know, gangster rap. Gangs run LA. You know what I'm saying? That's the politics. So it's like if you got all of, you know what I'm saying, this Crip set backing you, then you gonna buzz in the neighborhood, and then you gonna end up maybe getting in the club.
That's real life.
But that's how the politics run. But then also LA has a whole different side of the music industry that's not necessarily all gang affiliated too. It's a lot of rappers that come out of LA. But I mention that because my guy J5, who I grew up with and watched, you know what I'm saying? He's actually popping off in LA as we speak, you know what I'm saying? And I just got to really looking at a lot of the work that he's doing, you know what I'm saying? I followed him on Instagram, he followed me back. But he popping off on Instagram and on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube, and all of that videos with all of the views. And I'm like, you know, I'm in my head, I'm like, I'm trying to be back home so I can tap in with the homies. And granted, he is very, very set affiliated. So that's, you know, going to even be more, you know what I'm saying? Because people going to cling to that because that's just the way LA politics go. But I also got another homie named Dash D.U.B, who I went to church with back in the day. He is actually, do you know who Boogie is? West Side
I don't think
Boogie.
I do.
So West Side Boogie.
Oh, West Side Boogie? Yeah, I've heard that before.
He signed to Shady Records. West Side Boogie. And so Desi G is actually his DJ.
Oh, snap.
From church, way back. But Desi G ain't just a DJ. He's a producer. He's a performer. He's a rapper. He's a songwriter, artist, in all shapes of the word. So, you know, he's out there doing his thing too. And so I hit him up. I was like, yo, if I'm back in LA over the summer, this was before everything started going down, before the summer trips started getting canceled. But I told him if I'm back in LA for the summer, you know what I'm saying, what's the word? You know what I'm saying? Can we link on some music? He's like, yeah, for sure, come through, just tap in. And so I'm excited to just have those connections back home because, like I said, now I feel like I'm in a place where I have something to show for it. You know what I'm saying? Having a couple projects out, a couple videos out, and more in the works. And then lastly, regarding the LA scene, my little brother actually, I'm excited because he's rapping too. And so he out there trying to do his thing too. And he actually is getting real deep within the TDE camp. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, he's working with Reason. And he just put that on his last little tape that he just dropped too. So, you know what I'm saying? Go find Rap You Do on Instagram as well. You can definitely find him on my page. His project, I put it in my story. So if you look at my story, you can find his stuff after this interview as well. But you know what I'm saying? He's with them. He's not doing nothing seriously with them right now. Like he's been hopped on none of his beats. He ain't been able to hop on a song with Reason or nothing like that, Kendrick or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't out there. Right. But he's networking and he's plugged in. And so that's the difference. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's major resources to tap into over there as well. But I think you still want to have something to show for yourself. It's definitely still resources to tap into over here as well. And I feel like I appreciate the people who make stuff happen here. Like sort of the foundational people for making hip hop really happen in Madison. And, you know, I'm not going to name nobody because I don't want to leave nobody out. But like, you know, there are those foundational people who really make sure that hip hop has a voice here. You being one of them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's kind of my take on both of the different scenes and what I appreciate about being in the Madison scene, what I look forward to, you know what I'm saying, connecting with the fan back home.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So for people that just joined in, yo, it's your boy Dash D.U.B. I'm sitting here with my man K Sankofa. He just released a brand new mixtape, Parisia. Make sure to look it up. Make sure to follow this man on Instagram. What's your Instagram tag?
Hey, the Instagram is K Sankofa. It's the same on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all of the above. Shout out to John Doe. That's my guy. I rock success with him. Shout out to Doughboy. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Keisha. What's up, Keisha?
That's what's up. So what I think's been real unique about how you've approached things musically is that you've been able to find people to build a team. Yeah. You got a group, Rebel Vision. Yeah. Please inform us who's in it, who does what, and what y'all about.
Definitely, definitely. So, you know, I'm really excited about that. And I think one of the biggest things I want to say before I just start talking about the group and like, you know, what our plans are, what we're doing is that it's real hard to do this music stuff if you ain't got a group of people rocking with you. Like, that's
Most
you
deaf.
can do it on your own. I'm not telling nobody that they don't have the power within themselves to do it on their own. And I'm not saying that I don't believe that I could do things on my own either. But I know that two heads are better than one. And I know that when people are in agreement and when they're moving forward and forced together, that is always a better outcome. So for me, I'm just super excited and happy. I just want to say thank you to anybody who's been rocking with me. Because like there are certain things you need in this music stuff. You definitely need the music and the lyrics itself. If you can't make beats, you need somebody who can make beats. You're going to need somebody to be able to film for you and do videos and stuff. And then there's also even more stuff that you need, like stuff for promotion and stuff for getting booked in shows and getting, you know, out in articles and blogs and stuff like that. So I'm just thankful for that. But what we are is Rebel Vision, you know what I'm saying? We kind of came up with it kind of along the alignment of like when everything was going on with Trump as well. So the definition of a rebel is simply somebody who stands in opposition to a government or a government ruler. And that could be, there's two definitions. It's somebody who stands in opposition to a government or government ruler, or somebody who stands in armed resistance to a government or government ruler. Now, clearly, you know what I'm saying, we're not taking up arms against Trump, you know what I'm saying? So we just stand in opposition to a lot of the status quo in the United States, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the status quo in Madison, you know, and a lot of the status quo even in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So our idea is to take a contrarian view to what the norm is and to say, like, you know, we rebel for the better. We rebel for the good of the people. We rebel for the good of the art. And, you know, we rebel for the good of maintaining and preserving ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because resistance is self-preservation in many ways. A lot of the things that I feel like society would have us do or be involved in can sometimes serve as a disservice to us. So it's just about keeping a vigilant lens and making sure that you look at that as something that is not necessarily something you have to be trapped into, but you can find your own way. And so we took rebel and put vision, because usually it's rebel with a cause. And so you can be a rebel with a cause, and a lot of people have been rebels with a cause, and what happens when that cause fades away. But a vision is something that's long lasting, is something that is always, you know what I'm saying, in sight. So we took it and we made a rebel vision. And so I want to shout out to the homie Miguel Chapman, Mambi, is his producer name, who you called the super producer. You said he was a super producer, and he is cold. Like, he is cold. I cannot even lie. He actually just made a beat for me for this song that I am super excited about. We probably won't even drop it until some months from now, but I'm just so excited about it that I got to mention it. But he's dope. He made the beat for Be Excellent. I know he's working with some other artists who joined this call as well. So be on the lookout with and for him for all the stuff he's doing. We also got my boy DJ Pope, or PNB, Pope Boy Magic, who I think, oh no, that didn't just say he just joined. But yeah, he's dope too. He's a producer as well. And you know, he helps out with a lot of stuff. So, you know, he makes his own music too. He's a singer/rapper. Then we also have Michelle Johnson. Check her out. She just dropped the tape too.
Just dropped the new joint.
Hey, it's fire. It's fire. Let me tell you, it's fire. Like fire emoji. I'm telling you. Like, she dropped that joint and she dropped that joint. We were sitting here up in the crib working on it. And we got the whole track list down, and it was like, okay, we listened to it. It was thorough. I was like, drop it. So she dropped it on Easter. Shout out to her, because that joint is fire. And if you ain't, see, Marcus said it too. He dropped the fire. He recorded some of it. Shout out to Marcus for recording more than half of the artists in Madison. And then who else am I missing? Heather, the homegirl Heather, or HM Gauch Vision. He does a lot of camera work and a lot of publicity work. So the articles that we did with Urban City Magazine and Umoja, she actually did a lot of the production and the writing for that, and the scope of how that story would go when we were releasing Be Excellent. So yeah, so you know, we got a lot of people doing a lot of different things, and shout out to Notion as well. Notion just got affiliated with the squad. He shot my last 2 music videos. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm excited about him, because, you know, I may as well just say it now. I just got one of them back, and I'm super excited to release it. because it's super fire. But we don't got to talk all the way about it now. I know you got some specific questions about that. But shout out to Notion.
Right.
He's with the squad. And then another homie, Miles. I can't remember his last name. I think it's like Miles McCullen. He's another videographer.
Okay.
So we got multiple videographers, multiple producers, multiple rappers, some singing. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, me. You know, so
right.
I'm excited. It's just always good to have a squad. It's just good to have a squad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. So I know with some cats in the biz that may be starting out by themselves and looking to build a squad, but don't know how or the best way to go about it. I'm interested in how y'all came together to build that squad, because I know y'all came from different places, different ways of life. How did you come to actually build that squad?
Hey, what up to my 32nd Street family out there too? I see y'all. Don't think I don't see y'all. But how did we come to form the squad?
How did y'all build that squad? Because y'all come from different places, different walks of life, different countries. Like yo, it's not like y'all grew up together or y'all just all went to school together. And I know there's other people getting in the game. It's like, damn, I know I need a team, but I don't really know how to go about building one.
So, Peep Gang, when I talk about like just kind of rocking with the people who have been rocking with you, that goes a long way. That goes a long way. I feel like as artists, we go and try to find the next best thing outside of our own capacity or outside of our own vicinity, our circle, or people who we have already been working with. We go try to level up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is cool. Always do that, but always know that there's somebody probably right next to you who's willing to cross network and grind just as hard with you, because the benefit for both of you is, you know what I'm saying, more tremendous than the benefit for somebody who, you know, would be a level up. You know what I'm saying? So I had, you know, Heather, I was working with Heather for a long time. When I kind of first started putting out music in 2018. And when I first started putting out music and doing shows, I started doing open mic shows, but then I started getting looks for some bigger shows, and I ain't have no car. And some of the shows was like, okay, this is in Oshkosh, this is in Iowa. And so the homegirl Heather, she would drive me, and she would also be my photographer, videographer. So we've been working together since I started doing music. She additionally wanted to do like some press stuff, like some interviews, and put out some Q&As. And she always been helpful, getting me to my shows and taking pictures and doing video work. And so we started working together, and that was just cool. And then later on, like I think it was like summer of last year, I started sending out initial messages to people like, hey, we're getting ready to start up a little group, Rebel Vision. And we just want to have a little conglomerate of people who are going to work together on art and promote each other's art. You know what I'm saying? And so one of those people I messaged was DJ, the homie. And then one time I was over DJ's crib and I saw Miguel. That was where I first met Miguel. And so we linked up, we started talking, and we started working on music. And then later I sent him a text like, yo, we about to bring the group together. And then, you know, Heather was already with it. When I sent the message to DJ, he was like, just tell me when we getting started. So he was with it. Vicariously through DJ and me meeting him myself, Miguel was brought in. And then Mish, crazy enough, I don't know if she said she was talking to Marcus or if she was talking to somebody else in the city. And it was like, yo, you need to, oh no, she said she was talking to the homegirl who used to be a cheerleader at UW. She said, you need to work with Sankofa. And she said, she told me that like a couple months ago. I didn't even know that. When I had reached out to her and was like, yo, we forming this group, you trying to be down? And she was like, okay, for sure. And she told me like a couple months ago, yeah, Kayla told me a while ago. It was when when we threw the release party for Parisia, because I reached out to her and said she wanted to come. And so Mish caught wind of that. And so she's like, oh, you know, the craziest thing is she actually was the one who suggested we work together before any of this even started. So things just kind of happen the right way, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I'm blessed to say things, you know, were able to happen organically. And you know, I'm really appreciative of that. And that just kind of is what it is, you know. And now we just, you know, we squad.
Right. That's what's up. So it seems like the key is not overlooking your immediate surroundings. You never know who's either in close proximity or already in your corner. Because a lot of people try to do I got to jump over here and try to get on maybe LA. I gotta go out to LA and try to get on. Or I gotta get it ATL and try to get on. Or I'm gonna try and go to New York and build a team. It's not easy.
Yeah, cause like
there's so much in your immediate circle, and if you staying consistent with it, sometimes you have people that'll help you along the way that'll put in that word.
yeah, facts. Because look,
So that's dope.
what I
That's
think is
dope.
like any artist could probably thrive and do a little bit of something with the resources of like a label or some dope resources. But I feel like
Right.
it takes you being committed. It shows your commitment when you actually can find it will and find it in you to put in the work with the space of what you got around you. If you're able to work with what you got around you and make something out of that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That to me speaks volumes. And so that's what I've been
That's
trying to do
dope.
is just make something out of the situation that I'm in. And, you know, that's what we've been doing for years, Black people. So,
Right.
you know, make something out of nothing.
No doubt.
So,
No doubt. We got to J-rig it sometimes, but we'll get it to work.
right.
Yo, I think we got about 7 minutes. I want to make sure we both get in our announcements that we have before Instagram kicks us off after an hour. So I want to make sure we get that in before it boosts the live stream. So one thing quickly I want to get to before we go into the announcements. In this Madison scene, if you in the car or you going on Spotify or something like that, like who is you listening for? Who kind of peeps like your interest? Like I kind of want to hear what they're going to do on this next song or mixtape. What artists locally do that for you?
Locally in Madison?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so do you want me to do artists who came up in Madison specifically or artists who are currently in Madison? Because there's some artists who came up in Madison who might have jetted to Milwaukee or might be somewhere else.
You could do either. You could do either.
Because, okay, off top, and
Yeah.
I tell this person all the time
Yeah.
that their last project really was fire and that I listened to it and I enjoy it. Landon's project, his project was really fire.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to what Marcus Porter is getting ready to put out.
Yeah.
Because I heard a couple exclusives in the studio.
He previewed some stuff over at the last CBD show.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
So was it with Willie Wright?
He wasn't at Willie wasn't at that one. It was with Sheena and Steez. They hosted it.
Okay.
Get with it or get lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm excited for some of that. Because you know we made a song together too. Me and Marcus. But yeah, then also so to mention artists who kind of came up in Madison but now are not in Madison.
Yeah.
Lucian just dropped Game of Wolves. That kind of go. I was like, okay. Playing with some heat, and that's what I like.
Right.
Honestly, I feel like when I know somebody, it makes me want to listen to their music even more. So like, if I know them personally, it makes me connect with their music more. It makes me want to like hear it out. And then also somebody who came up in Madison, who I got to meet briefly for a little bit while I was in Madison, but then like got to know a little more extended because he came out and was he stayed at the crib when I was living at the hub, but he just dropped a little snippet on both Twitter and Instagram of a song that sounds like it's about to go stupid. That's Ted Park.
Oh snap!
He just dropped a little snippet. I was like, the little snippet was like something bad. I was like, all right.
You got the vibe already.
Yeah, he had a vibe. I was looking at that one. I was like, okay, this looked like it might go all the way up. He said it was a little quarantine bop, and I feel like you best believe folks is making it quarantine bops right now. So now's the time to get put in the music. But yeah, those are some of the guys. I know with some other people that I'm missing that I like just cannot think. Oh, I rock with one of many. I'm waiting to see what he put out, and then Kilo. You know what I'm saying? Kilo's cold as well. It's a lot of people in the Madison scene who I do genuinely rock with and do have a lot of genuine respect for. I'm just trying to.
There's a host of talent here. I just don't think it gets heard.
Yeah.
You know, some people say, "Oh man, I'm not sure anybody coming out of Madison." It's like, one, there's a lot of talent that hasn't been heard, and two, like, everybody has to start getting more people to these shows, to these platforms where people are being able to showcase this stuff, getting interviewed, talking about albums. Like, there's talent here. It just needs some more eyes and some more opportunity.
Right.
And I think everybody got to take that onus on themselves to be like, yo, I'm gonna go hard, but I'm gonna go hard also for my fellow artists that's next to me that's in the same grind that I'm in.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
that we can, if one comes up, we all come up.
Right. That's real. That's real. Because once you got the scene popping in, if you're doing shows there at the scene where people are showing up, then you getting that same cross marketing. But another person that I wanted to mention too, whose video was cold, no pun intended, Poetic Ye just dropped that cold single.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
Fire. Yo,
Yeah.
that was fire.
Yeah.
That was some heat. I was looking at that like, okay, and we was just having a conversation in the Less Work office with Kilo and Breon, and we was just talking about like nowadays, like you kind of gotta release with a video. You kind of gotta drop with a video. You know what I'm saying? But he was telling me he got some heat coming, and I was like, okay, we're gonna see, because I had just dropped the Be Excellent joint, so I was feeling good. And he was like, hey, but look, I got some heat for you. I was like, okay, I can't wait to see it. And then he dropped that first single. I was like, oh. I was like, that's hot. That's
so we coming up. I think we may have 2-3 minutes left. I want you to go ahead, and I told him he's gonna drop some jewels at the end. So tell them what you got for them in store tonight.
So what I will be doing, so I'm gonna go ahead and announce, you know what I'm saying? So I already said that I got a bunch of videos that are on the way, either in the chamber or in the editing process. But I got one that's ready for you, hot and fresh, very soon. Not tonight. We will be dropping it on 5/3. So that'll be Sunday on May 3rd. So be excited and be ready for that. But tonight I'll give y'all a little snippet. I'll post on my IG as soon as we get off this, and that'll go on the IG, on the Facebook, on the Twitter. You know what I'm saying? All of the above. So you can check out the newest video. Shout out to Notion, who shot that with us. You know what I'm saying? He's an excellent videographer and an excellent director. It's a difference. You got to know the difference. But, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Rebel Vision. And I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we got for y'all as far as the announcement. And, you know, new music and new videos coming soon. Be on Sankofa. Be on the lookout for Rebel Vision. Be on the lookout for Radio 22. You know what I'm saying?
Hit them with that tag one more time where they can reach you.
You can reach me at Sankofa. That's K.Sankofa. That's on any platform. That's Facebook. That's Twitter. That's YouTube. That's Instagram. So yeah, get at me. You know what I'm saying? If you you know what I'm saying, want to work, you know what I'm saying, while it's Corona time. If you got a way to record, then we can find a way to send stuff back and forth or whatever. Or, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just hit me up. You know what I'm saying? We out here. Everybody kind of just chilling during this Corona hour. So I hope folks are staying busy. But yeah, that's where you find me. Sankofa. K.Sankofa.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Man, we appreciate you doing this. Radio 22, we're going to start doing more of these Who's Next live interviews. Miss Sheena has an interview coming up this Friday, 8 p.m. With Camera God, so make sure to tune back in here. Saturday at 5 p.m., we kicking off the Industry Saturdays. Got Landon Devon coming in. We talking marketing. We talking song construction. We talking the whole thing. We're going to get into it. It's going to be dope. But tomorrow, man, we are going to preview a hip-hop game show on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Okay.
So make sure to hit us up, Radio 22. It's just at My Radio 22 on Facebook, and YouTube. I think on Twitch it's Radio 22 Media 22. But we're gonna try this hip hop game show, man. I'm excited about it. We're gonna be talking all old school hip hop type stuff. We're gonna get into the golden era. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty. And I got 3 contestants on there that know their thing. So we're gonna see how they do.
Okay, taking it back.
But that's going to be live. That's going to be 8 o'clock tomorrow night. It's going to be live. So, I'm excited for it. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, sir.
All right, homie. I appreciate you giving the time. Sankofa, make sure to go check out Parisia right now. Right now.
Right there. That's how you spell it right there.
Yo, G, if you need anything, get at me. Much love. Appreciate you.
Most definitely. Will link.
All right, homie. I'm waiting for the preview.
All right.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.